معرفة عساكر القلب. How do we know then the troops of the heart? تحتاج أن تعرف العسكرين. You need to know two troops. وذلك أن العسكر الظاهر هو الشهوة والغضب. The outward troop is shahwa and ghadab. It's desire and anger. Those are actually troops. So those are there for the heart. Shahwa and anger, what's called the concupiscent and the irascible soul. وَمَنَازِلُهُمْ فِي الْيَدَيْنِ. And the way station of these places, the way stations along the way, the places where they alight, the alighting places, the abodes of these, are the hand, في اليدين والرجلين والعينين والأذنين وجميع الأعضاء, and all of the limbs. So that's the first, the outward askar, the outward army. The external army is shahwa, the desire, والغضب, and anger. And the alighting places is in the hand, where it manifests, in the feet, in the eyes, in the ears, and in all of the limbs. وَأَمَّا الْعَسْكَرَ الْبَاطِنِ فَمَنَازِلُهُ فِي الدِّمَاغِ. As for the external troops, their alighting places are in the brain, consciousness. So he says, وَهُوَ قُوَّ الْخَيَالِ وَالتَّفَكُّرِ وَالْحِفْظِ وَالتَّذَكُّرِ وَالْوَهْمِ. And these are the powers of imagination, of reflection, of memory, of recollection, and of supposition. So these are all powers that you've been given in the heart. So you have the external and the internal. And these were created for you in order for you to achieve the goal of the heart. وَلِكُلِّ قُوَّةٍ مِّنْ هَذِهِ الْقُوَّةِ عَمَلٌ خَاصٌ. Every one of these faculties has a specific function. فَإِنْ ضَعُفَ وَاحِدٌ مِّنْهُمْ ضَعُفُ حَالُ ابْنِ آدَمَ فِي الدَّارَيْنِ. So if any of them is weakened, then the condition of the son of Adam in the two abodes is weakened. Any one of these. وَجُمْلَةُ هَذَيْنَ الْعَسْكَرَيْنِ فِي الْقَلْبِ. And the totality of these two armies is in the heart. وَهُوَ أَمِيرُهُمَا. And the heart, or the consciousness, is the amir, it's the commander. فَإِنْ أَمَرَ اللِّسَانَ أَنْ يَذْكُرَ ذَكَرَ وَإِنْ أَمَرَ الْيَدَ أَنْ تَبْطِشَ بَطَشَتْ وَإِنْ أَمَرَ الرِّجْلَ أَنْ تَسْعَى سَعَتْ وَكَذَلِكَ الْحَوَاسُ الْخَمْسُ حَتَّى يَحْفَظَ نَفْسَهُ. So, if the heart commands the tongue, it speaks to remember. If it commands the tongue to remember, it remembers. So, the heart commands the tongue to remember Allah. And so the tongue says, Astaghfirullah. The command came from the heart. If it commands it to say Subhanallah, it says Subhanallah. If it commands the hand to strike, it strikes. If it commands the foot to move, like if you're going to go to the Umrah, it's the heart that commanded the foot to go. That's how you set out. If you get up, it's the heart that commanded you to get up. Anything that you do, the command center is the heart. That's where it's coming from. This is very important because what he's trying to do is lay for you a foundation of understanding not only the nature of your consciousness, but the fact that you're going to be responsible for all of your actions. Because people don't think about this stuff. They go through life on automatic pilot. And they're not thinking about the fact that they're not on automatic pilot. That they actually have volition. They have animality. They have knowledge. They have all of these attributes that are attributes of the divine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put divine attributes in the human being. And then said, you're responsible for these divine attributes. I'm giving them to you for a reason. Not to play, not to eat, not to drink. I've got creatures that I created to do those things. You do those things also. But I have other creatures to do that. I don't need you to copulate. I don't need you to drink. I don't need you to eat. I've got creatures, plenty of them, that do that. That's their function. And yes, you share those qualities with them, but there's a hikmah. There's a reason. It creates humility. There's a lot of reasons for it. That's the most essential. It keeps you down to earth. Because they're better than you at it. So if you want to compete with them, they can eat more than you can. Really, a lion can eat more than you can. A rooster can copulate more than you can. All of them can outdo you in those things. That's not why you were created. So know what your Amir is. The Amir is the heart. And he's going to explain why you have to have that knowledge. Because the troops mutiny. You have time when the army overthrows the commander-in-chief. It's called a coup d'etat. So that happens. The troops get out of control and they take over. And then what happens? They wreak havoc in the land. You know, Ghana, you know, they have a coup every couple of weeks. But what happens? Every time they have a coup, there's another, it's all disaster. People get shot. There's all this bloodshed, all this turmoil. They show pictures. It's all in chaos. The town's in chaos. That's what happens when the troops rebel. And then he says, so you've been given these 5 senses in order to protect yourself. If there's fire, you touch it, ouch, that burns. Okay, I know not to do that again. Right? You kick the rock. You know, Dr. Johnson, Berkeley said everything is in the mind. Berkeley was an idealist. So he said none of this has any reality. So Dr. Johnson was walking with Boswell, and he kicked a rock and he said, I refute it thus. But that's why you have senses, because that hurts. If you kick a rock, it hurts. You know not to kick a rock again. That's the purpose of the senses, is to preserve the nafs. So in order that you can put away provision for the next life. وَيُحَصِّرَ الصَّيْدِ. So the soul can also capture the hunt, what it's going after. وَتَتِمَّ التِّجَارَةُ. And the transaction is completed. وَيَجْمَعْ بَذْرَ السَّعَادَةِ. And gather the seed of otherworldly felicity. So this is all why you've been given this. وَهَؤُلَاءِ طَائِعُونَ الْقَلْبِ. All of these are in obedience to the heart. كما أن الملائكة طائعون للرب سبحانه وتعالى ولا يخالفون أمره. Just as the angels are in obedience to their Lord, glory and exalted is He, and they do not disobey His commands. لا يخالفون أمره. So these things that you've been given, they're in subservience to you.